Okay, this is the P1 paper from June 2021. It's question 8, and as we'll see as we go through it, this is a quadratics question with some work about completing the square, and then there's some work on sort of algebraic expressions or cubic graphs. Let's look at the first part though. So the first part says we've got that curve, and can we write it in the form ax plus b squared plus c? Yeah, we certainly can. That's just completing the square. So we're starting off with y equals 3x squared plus 6x plus 9, and I can't complete the square on something like that. It needs to be x squared as my coefficient, so that means taking 3 out as a factor, and I'm going to get x squared plus 2x plus 3, and now I can complete the square on this. In order to complete the square on this then, leave the 3 as it is. It's x squared plus 2x. I take the 2, half it, and then it's plus 1 squared minus 1 squared plus 3. So this part here hasn't changed my expression at all, but what it has done is given me the opportunity now to say that that part there is going to be a perfect square, because that part there is x plus 1 all squared. And then tidy up the rest of it, the minus 1 squared plus 3 will give me plus 2. So that's written down as a complete square, but the way that they wanted it was to actually multiply out the bracket there. So I end up with 3 lots of x plus 1 all squared plus 6. So I've got it in the format there with my a, b and c, as you can see in this answer here. Okay, so that's part A done. Part B is very straightforward because it says, can we find the coordinates of the minimum point? Well, that's one of the reasons for getting something into a complete square. If I've got this written down like this, then we can say the minimum of this is going to occur when that bit is as small as possible. And the smallest thing that can be, because it's something squared, is 0. So the minimum is going to occur, so minimum y will be when x plus 1 equals 0. So in other words, x equals minus 1. And if x plus 1 is 0, we're going to get 3 lots of 0 squared plus 6. Or in other words, we're going to get 6. So the minimum point is minus 1, 6. Hope that's really straightforward to you. Should have done some work on completing the square, and that's one of the things that we find from our complete squares. Right, let's go back and have a look at part C then. This is a slightly different part to the question now. It now says different curve is this cubic here, and it says that for this, it passes through P. Okay, so I know x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 6. But it also intersects with the axis at those 3 points. So can we see if we can work out what A, B, C, and D are? Yeah, okay, well, let's get started with that then. So y is equal to ax cubed, bx squared, cx, and d. Okay, we know it goes through the point x equals minus 1, y equals 6, but more importantly, if it hits at minus 4, minus 2 and 3, then what I can say with this is, now you might start off by thinking it's this, x plus 4, x plus 2, x minus 3, which is true. They're all going to be factors of it. If it hits the axes at those values, then we can say x plus 4 is a factor, x plus 2 is a factor, and x minus 3 is a factor, but there is the possibility that there's a constant in there as well. So we've already got C in the question, so I'm going to use that. This is the key to answering this question. So just stop and go back and have a look at where I've got that from. Okay, we know it hits at minus 4, at minus 2, and at 3 there. So that gives me that, and that as my possibilities for factors. Once I've got that then, Because we've got the x equals minus 1 and y equals 6, let's work out what k is going to be equal to. So if x equals minus 1, y equals 6 is going to give me k minus 1 plus 4, minus 1 plus 2, and minus 1 minus 3 there. That tidies up to, is it minus, oh, it's not minus 6, apologies, it's 6 there. This gives me 6 is equal to, that's minus 12k there. So k works out to be equal to minus a half. And so now I know that y is equal to minus a half x plus 4, x plus 2, x minus 3. And we've just got to multiply that all out now. Entirely up to you the way that you do it. I'm going to multiply those two together first, and then once I've got that quadratic, I'll multiply that by x minus 3. I'm not going to take any time over doing something like that. You should be able to do this fairly straightforward. X plus 4 times x plus 2 gives us x squared plus 6x plus 8 times x minus 3. By all means, take a little bit more time over that if you need to, but I don't particularly. Now multiplying all of that by x minus 3 is going to give me, just leave the minus half there, we'll worry about that in a second. Well, multiplying everything by x is going to give me x cubed, 6x squared, and 8x. Then multiplying everything by minus 3 is going to give me minus 3x squared, minus 18x, and minus 24 there. So that all tidies up to minus a half. What have we got? We've got x cubed, we've got 3x squared there, we've got minus 10x, and we've got minus 24. And what do they want? They actually want it properly all multiplied out, don't they, to do a, b, c, and d. So y is going to be equal to minus a half x cubed minus 3 over 2 x squared plus 5x plus 12. And you can then say a, b, c, and d are the constants there. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense.